What we are about to talk about today is information, surveillance, and reconnaissance. These are very high-end levels of cybersecurity, and this has been around for the past 60 years. So it's nothing new. It's unfortunately new to us, but to the engineers that have been developing these systems and working on them, this is not new. So with all of these systems, what it does, it basically watches us move, think, breathe, sweat. They literally track all your cellular functions and record that in real time, and then that's when they can play with you and adjust it and do whatever the hell they want, basically. The entire point of this is transhumanism and posthumanism. All right, so one of the very first companies that I want to bring everyone's attention to is the IEEE, and that is the Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. So what this company has, it has every human body on something called an Internet of Bodies. So they also have biosensors in and around everyone and everything.
Wow.
The whole point of this is they have a very long agenda that they've been working on. And it is, like I said, it's for transhumanism, posthumanism. They have living libraries, and every single person in the world has a digital twin. So the IEEE would be like the very first company that I think everybody should look at, and should look at their research, look at their paperwork, look at all the work that they've done, because all their stuff is public source, and anybody can literally find it on Google.
You can literally just Google this. You can go on there and just type it in and see it yourself, and it's
Start
just
with
like
IEEE.
Wikipedia, or
Everywhere.
is it like
No,
real
IEEE
government?
has their own website. They have their own platforms. They have their own even blogs and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
But all their research, because these are the people engineering these systems. These are the people working these jobs. So
real site.
if you're trying to look for this information, you got to go to the source.
And how long has this been going on?
The earliest that I can find when it comes to this paperwork, like 1950s, 1960s. So, and it's electromagnetic warfare.
Yes.
How is all of this possible?
Yeah.
It's possible because we have our electrical body part that has been missing in our anatomy, and no one really wants to talk about it. And yeah, like I said, if you go to the doctors, no one talks about your electrical field. You need a religion or a cult or some type of voodoo belief system
Right.
in order to even acknowledge the fact that you have an electrical body part, but every single human does. All of us do. And we don't even know the type of impacts it has on us and our health and our immune systems. So that's where I would like to bring everyone's attention to is our biofield, or as most people know it, the aura. And that's as simple as it's going to get. And all these engineering systems, all these companies, that is what they are working with. They are working with your biofield. They're working with your aura. And that's how they're able to biohack us, because no one's paying attention to that body part. And
I don't even think they consider it a body part, right? I mean, does anybody really?
No, they
we
don't.
know that it's a body part.
And that's crazy, because if you think, like, when you really look into the research and all the work that they've been doing, it's like saying, I don't believe in a brain, or I don't believe in my arm. My arm doesn't exist. Like, that's literally the level that we're at when it comes with this. And it is. It's actually more important than what you see physical, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see my liver right now, but I know it's there, it's working, it's functioning. And that's the same thing with your energy field, with your biofield. You can feel it. It's there, it's functioning. And that is where your precognition, your telepathy, all these natural, or they call them supernatural abilities, but they're actually very natural to humans. And this is something that all of us should be experiencing and practicing on a daily basis. And, they don't want us to know that. They literally do everything to keep us in the dark. And the people who do believe in biofield or aura, oh, you're crazy, oh, you're just a spiritualist or some magic or something like that. But it's actually science. And like I said, 2/3 of the world's industries are wrapped up in this.
Wow.
So when you think of all these people and populations of people going to work, what are they doing for work? Like, honestly, like,
Do they even
Yeah,
know
who
what
are
they're
the
doing?
people involved in making this happen? Like,
Yeah.
who is they?
well, it's a long list of organizations, and you can start in the medical field, because that's one of the fields that they love to blame the most. It gives them the most privilege to do whatever they want, because it's always for your health, always for your safety, and they don't need to disclose any details about what they're doing, as long as it's for your health and safety. So definitely people like your physicians, doctors, nurses, people working in the ER, they are very well of these systems. Like, they know what these systems do. It's not brand new to them. But to people like us, regular people, it's unfortunately something that nobody talks about. And I know we don't have time to read, but I feel like when it's something that's life or death, you know, you should spend a little bit of time reading on it. Let's start with the fact that our bodies are electrical and we have something called a biofield. Biofield is interacting fields of energy and information that surround living systems, including physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual layers, extending approximately 6 feet from the body. This goes back to Corona and COVID
Yes.
and why they had us standing 6 feet apart. We are here with the National Library of Medicine on November 1st, 2015. Biofield Science and Healing, History, Terminology, and Concepts. Biofield science is an emerging field of study that aims to provide a scientific foundation for understanding the complex homeodynamic regulation of living systems. You are a living system. By furthering our scientific knowledge of the biofield, we arrive at a better understanding of the foundations of biology as well as the phenomenon that have been described as energy medicine. Energy medicine, the application of extremely low-level signals to the body, including energy healer interventions and bioelectromagnetic device-based therapies, is incomprehensible from the dominant biomedical paradigm of life as chemistry. The biofield or biological field, a complex organizing energy field, engage in the generation, maintenance, and regulation of biological homeodynamics, is a useful concept that provides the rudiments of a scientific foundation for energy medicine and thereby advances the research and practice of it. An overview on the biofield is presented in this paper with a focus on the history of the concept, related terminology, key scientific concepts, and the value of the biofield perspective for informing future research. And as you can see here are the key words, and it says biofield, bioelectromagnetics, biological field, electromagnetic fields, energy medicine, and healing. Your biofield, your aura, exists if you have a job in sensor hunting and hunting humans. Literally,
Wow.
They are hunting humans with this biofield. And they do all of this at the will and discretion of medical, military, and industrial systems. They stole a part of our anatomy, hid it from us, and went to work with it. And this is all for information, surveillance, and reconnaissance. All these systems are built around targeting your biofield. And within that biofield, you have 80% of your immune system and 40 to 60% of your endocrine system. Let's take a quick look at the organs of the immune system. What are the organs of the immune system? You have bone marrow, thymus, mucous membranes, white blood cells, lymph node, tonsils, antibodies, intestines, spleen, skin, and if you click on the very first link here, you'll have a wonderful image that shows you all these organs of the immune system. The common disorders of the immune system include allergies, hay fever, sinus disease, asthma, hives, dermatitis, eczema, along with a long list of different types of cancers and autoimmune diseases. So again, 80% of your immune system is in your biofield, and they have full access and control over it. Let's take a look at the endocrine system. So the main function of your endocrine system is to release hormones into your blood while continuously monitoring it. We each have over 50 hormones inside our body that controls everything from our metabolism to our sexual functions, to our sleep-wake cycle, reproduction. The organs that are involved in your endocrine system include your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, adrenaline gland, and as you can see, the rest on the image. So they have control over all these systems. What does that tell you? So once people actually start learning about these systems and how they function, I think everybody's going to be beyond outraged to know that this was deployed back in the 90s. So when they're doing all of this logging in and out of your body, they're using your red blood cells, which that's what depletes iron. And that's why a lot of people recently start having iron deficiency. It is because of these systems and these programs that they're, and the tech they're literally running through you. So hopefully with what we are doing and trying to help educate people, I hope that things like lupus, cancer, autoimmune diseases, all these sicknesses that people are suffering from and struggling with, I hope that they can start to see the bigger picture and understand why they are sick and how they are sick and how they're making them sick on like a step-by-step level.
Start questioning things, start maybe wondering how come we are not living as long as we're supposed to, or how come they're telling us that we're supposed to live longer and we're doing this to make you live longer but yet dying quicker.
It's because the healthcare systems are all part of the plan and they're all working together.
Wow. So
If we don't have control over our own organs and our own, body and how it functions, who does?
And they're doing this with technology.
Yeah, they have systems that are literally
Even
and it's these
far away,
yeah.
they're able to do all
It
this.
you don't need to be next to them or next to somebody who's pressing a button. It's an international system, it's worldwide, and every single human being is a part of it.
Wow.
Whether they're a free range human or they're already hybridized, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same boat together.
And when you say hybridized,
What?
that's already
They're already
targeted.
augmented, yeah.
Okay.
So whether it was free will, because I know there's people who think it's cool to be augmented, especially with all the new tech that we have coming out. But a lot of the people that I know that are unfortunately augmented, they did not choose that. That is something that they were literally experimented on and played with.
And this is done wirelessly, not when augmented. We're not talking about surgery.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's all wirelessly. They don't need to do a surgery. They could, and obviously in their earlier years of experimenting, they did implant chips and all of this. But now everything is wireless, and they've been able to do this for about 60 years. It's like I said, it's not something new that just popped up. So.
We're trying to
Scary.
practice that throughout COVID too, that's for sure. They were trying to hold wireless, just even analyzing your.
The whole point of
taking
COVID was it was
it's a
literally
trial,
it was a
feel.
cyber physical backbone. That's why they had the graphene. That's why they the graphene most of the population was because they needed that backbone for their cognitive cities, for their 15-minute cities. That is the end goal of all of it, is to basically have us in a little box
Yeah.
and they control us, not just by social media, finances. No, they want to control our cell structure, how we function, how our
Yes.
how our biological body naturally works.